manners. You just seemed a little out of your element. Seth. I'm Seth. I'm gonna fuck Seth MacFarlane. I'll admit it's an escape, but it's also to help me work through the creative process. You guys can be done with lessons and do something else, which it already looked like you were, JoJo.
Huh?
Were you already doing something else?
No.
Okay. Let's see. Creative process. Many famous authors immerse themselves in the popular culture of their day to draw new experiences and observe people in new environments. I suppose that's true. I thought most of them indulged in part because it was their particular interests more than strict research. You don't strike me as the type to write romance or erotica, though. Why would you think that? I mean, I don't, but why would you assume that is the only motivation for me to be at this club? Mostly because even the bouncers are wearing half the clothing you are, and because I came here with my brother Cobby, specifically because this is his favorite place to meet guys, for a fling. You have to admit, your choice of ambiance suggests something more than just curiosity about popular culture. By now he was blushing furiously, the spot of red visible beneath his snowy white cheek fur. Despite his attempt at appearing aloof, something spoke about his relative discomfort in being here. I'm not here to judge, it's just, well, interesting. I get enough stories from Cobby to get an idea of how this place tends to function, and you appear to be actively avoiding that function. Well, I'm honing my craft, trying to push myself outside my comfort zone so I have a breadth of experience to write from. It's the sort of thing authors do. So you're a writer, what experience are you getting? You sure you're not just lonely? So you're a writer. Maybe you've written something I've heard of before. What do you have out there? Well, I'm not published per se. I'm building a body of work before I approach anyone. Wouldn't want to come off as some sort of dilettante. So you like the title? So you just like the title? I suppose that makes sense. Authors rarely have a single work to their name. Do you have something I could read? He sat upright, the slouch that had been so prevalent before suddenly vanishing. His ears perked up as well before he glanced to the side and then back at me. Took a long moment before he responded. I suppose you could look over a couple of my things. Still rough drafts, though. I haven't had it run by an editor, so don't expect too much. Hesitantly, he dug in the shoulder bag, setting beside him before producing another composition notebook that sat down in front of me. It's mostly snippets and some poetry. I know, it's self-indulgent to play with rhymes, but you have to find your muse when it comes. He watched intently as I skimmed over his work. It was mostly fluff. See, this is why I'm glad I married. I don't have to deal with this bullshit anymore. God damn, this is hard fucking work. I gotta read a book now? Just to get some ass? This is bullshit. Fragments of idea, occasional clever rhyme. Each piece seemed short, as if it were cut off before completion. He seems to have trouble sticking to an idea. Maybe that's why he was looking for inspiration. Well, what do you think? I mean, I can't expect much from what I provided, but input is always appreciated. Be honest, be kind, be blunt. I'm seeing quite a few good ideas here, and even more interesting takes on ideas that you are pursuing. You really should seek publication. You're too kind, really. It's definitely the direction I'm going, but I feel I need to work on a little more before I get to where I'm completely comfortable with the idea. You seem very sensitive about your work for someone who's writing in the public eye. Well, writing is a very, it pulls quite deeply from my internal well. Everything I write is in some way a reflection of myself. I suppose it's easy to take things personally. Well, if I may be so bold, what brought you to the club tonight, since you clearly aren't driven by a desire to quietly observe, nor are you obviously looking to get drunk and dance? I'm curious as to what your motivation is. Sex. My motivation is sex. Mostly, I guess, to keep myself occupied and distracted. Cobby, my brother, very much likes this place, but doesn't always want to go alone. I needed time away from my problems, and he wanted a ride, a match made in Well, necessity. Well then, where else might you have gone if you had the option? Ignoring costs, location, or any of that. Somewhere quiet. I tend to be a little more restrained, so I probably would have gone somewhere a little quieter, a library, museum, or something like that, somewhere I can hear my own thoughts. A smile twitched at the edges of his mouth as he scribbled into his notebook. He tapped the eraser against the page before looking back up at me thoughtfully. This dude is using me. Feeling a bit out of your element too then? I certainly understand that feeling, but it's always good to break out of your comfort zone. He seemed to be rather thrilled with this pseudo-interrogation. He looked back up from his notebook with excitement. So, being that you are in this club and already expressed curiosity as to why I'm here, what do you like about this club? Dancing, drinking, relaxing, socializing. Oh, shit. He looked a little surprised, jotting down a few extra lines in his notebook before glancing back up at me. I suppose I should be flattered you've directed your attentions to just me then. Extroverts commonly don't enjoy engaging with me for extended periods of time. So we've established where you want to be and why you want to be there, but the big question is, who do you want to be there with? What kind of person would you be looking for at this club? I get the feeling that this is a somewhat pointed question. I also get the feeling that there is something more going on here than simple research. He shot me a Cheshire cat grin and placed a hand on his chest in mock shock. Clearly he was enjoying this intimate game of 20 questions. Cheshire grin, I could go with that. Someone handsome, someone interesting, someone bold. You. To be honest, you. I set about exploring the club at first, but you definitely caught my eye. There's a reason I'm here and not in the pool or down on the dance floor and that's because you're intrigued. That's because you intrigue me. He shifted a whole new shade of red as I smiled from the stool next to him. Absently, he looked away to scribble down a note or two before looking back up and clearing his throat to hide his shy response. Well, it's always nice to be noticed. I thought I'm not usually the type of person to stand out physically. I mean, wasn't sure what was more adorable, his attempts to cover up his embarrassment or the light shade of pink showing through those snowy white cheeks. Alright, one more question, and then I really should find Cobby and figure out what he has planned for the rest of the night. I suppose I have been prying pretty heavily. That said, you have been a very interesting character to study, to say the least. It's rare I actually get to interact with someone. I'd hoped I was more than just an intellectual diversion. Is that not the case? I didn't mean it like that. I mean, it's been interesting talking with you. I've been here for a couple hours already, and you're the first person who stopped to talk that didn't want to take a drink order. I smiled and leaned in the bar. He was awfully cute when he desperately tried to regain his composure. So, what's the last question? He hesitated, glancing down his notebook for a second before scribbling something in the margins. As he looked back up, I could see his cheeks were still quite flushed. I was heading to the library tomorrow to do some research for a story, and there was a reading I was thinking of going to. Could I convince you to come along? Sure. I'd love to. What time? Really? I mean, great. The reading is a little before noon, but I'll be there early. Let me give you my number so you can call and let me know when you're going to get there. He tore off the corner of a notebook page absent-mindedly, leaving a snippet of poetry in the upper half, and passed it to me. Thanks. It'll be nice to have someone else there. It's always a little awkward to go alone. Sounds like a date then. I suppose it is. I need to get going, but be sure to call me as soon as you're up. I'll make sure to save us a seat. After gathering his things, he shot me another adorable smile and strode off towards the door, folded up the paper and slipped it into my pocket. Phone number of Seth. Go away, achievement. Damn it, I want to read that. I fucking hate it that they pop up in the same fucking spot. Cool, we got 3 numbers tonight. That's pretty progressive, right? Alright, I'm gonna go talk to this fox right here. I love the tattoo. I really do. Yes, there's a brightly colored fox sitting by herself here. She seems bored, her head resting on her palm. I don't see anyone else with her. I guess there's no harm in seeing if she wants some company. Break the ice, clear my throat, kick the table, break the ice. I slipped into the booth, tentatively hoping a happy smile would win me a few points with the bored-looking fox girl. Hey there, sorry to bother you, but you look a little lonely. My name's Jester, if you want to talk. She jolted in her seat as soon as she heard my voice. She was so deep in daydream, I don't think she even noticed me sit down. She quickly corrected her posture to something more ladylike. Oh, I'm really sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you. I'd just been having a quiet night and I was kind of tuning out. Did you say your name was Fester? Yeah, that's me. I know the feeling. I've been having a bit of a quiet night myself. Let me guess, did you get dragged here by a friend as well? That obvious, huh? Yeah, sort of got swept along by people's plans. And it was supposed to be my party, too. You know, it'd kind of be way more like my usual scene if there were more people dressed like you. Oh, fuck yeah. More of a goth chick yourself, that surprises me. Oh no, I mean sometimes I kind of try a lot of styles. I more hang around a few people who dress that way. I mean, that's not that that's a bad thing or anything. Sorry, I just mean you look cool. Ha! I really don't worry about it. Those shorts are short enough for you to fit in. Those shorts are short enough for you to fit in here too. I'm just dressing to impress, you know, when in Rome. This is just how I dress. I hadn't really thought about it. I don't think I'm going to go with the cheesy line there. I'm just trying to know when in Rome. I know how that goes a little, getting into character and stuff. Oh, she likes to roleplay. Yeah, I guess so, haha. That, and I just wanted to try being a little more outgoing, you know? Right, definitely. So, this was your party at a place you don't even like? Yeah, my school friends. Ah, shit, school friends. She's too young to be in the club. But, you know, I don't know. Maybe we'll Akon it. Fuck it. Taking me to a club. Don't get any funny ideas. I'm finished with high school and all. They just like to keep in contact every now and then. Funny ideas. She's the one about to give me a heart attack. I don't see an X on her hand, though. Are they bad friends or something? Or, no, it's not that. They mean well and all. Just don't really have anything in common with them anymore, I guess. It's not really my thing to go clubbing and get drunk and go hunting for guys and stuff. I was only really friends with them because they were in my class. You couldn't get out of it? You must have closer friends, right? I have close friends. They just live far away. I talk to them nearly every day on the internet. One of them did want to come see me for my birthday, but she was busy. We meet up every few months at these conventions I go to. I'm sorry, probably creeping you out with my dorky stuff, aren't I? Oh, no, love. Dorks are freaks, okay, guys? Just remember that. A dork will rock your fucking world, I promise you. You're not a dork. There's nothing wrong with having a long-distance friends. It's better than hanging out with people who you don't share anything in common with, right? What do you do? What do you all do when you go to these conventions anyway? Thanks for being understanding. Most people here seem to think I'm weird. All the dorky talk and make an excuse to bail on me. I guess it's just because I'm not really looking to jump on a dick. If someone so much as flirts with me, like I said, kind of not really my crowd. God, I'm sorry. I'm pretty bad at these first impression things, aren't I? Kind of more thinking what being here says about me than like what should I say to people. Let's start over. My name's Sky, by the way. That's so beautiful. Kindly. You gotta treat this kind of woman with class and kindness. Especially if you want her to stick that finger up your ass during the blowjob. Yeah, dorks will do it. Nice to meet you, Sky. Don't worry, I'm not really looking for a fling or anything. My junk is firmly locked away, I promise. You're funny, Fester the Dragon. Thanks again for sitting with me. Who knows how long I'd be sitting around waiting for my friends to finish celebrating on my behalf. I sure can pick 'em, can I? Hey, can I get you a drink or something? Isn't that something I should be asking you? I came over after all. Oh no, well, I'd appreciate it and everything. I'm just not much of a drinker, plus my friends need someone to drive us home. If they aren't going home with someone else, of course. She is growling at that, which they probably will be. Well, okay, let's both stay sober then. Only seems fair if your friends bail. If your friends bail, we can always grab a drink after to celebrate a little freedom. I guess that's true. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I kind of got off on tangents a lot. You asked about the cons I go to, right? First, I guess I want to ask a test question. Do you know why I'm dressed this way at the moment? For attention, your upper body is chilly, but your legs are hot. Birthday present, something about the con, I give up. Birthday present? Nope. Want me to just tell you? Something about the con? Well, from the conversation, I assume it's something to do with the cons you go to. That's right, I'm actually a cosplayer. This is one of my outfits that looks like one of my favorite characters. I've always been a big fan of cartoon, comics, video game characters, and all sorts of stuff. Dressing up helps me express myself, and a lot of my friends say I do it pretty well too. You sure fucking do. I told you she was a role player. You know you're talking to a fellow nerd, right? I think I recognize her from the kids shows, right? I think I've seen a picture of her one time. It's totally Greek to me, sorry. I was wondering if you were gonna ask something harder, like what season she hits her ultimate form or something. I actually used to binge watch that show like every month or so, so you're not the only dork here, you know? Really? That's pretty cool. You know there's not a ton of nerd culture things in the city. I didn't want to assume. Honestly, seeing a girl dressed up like Raina Mom was one of the reasons I came over. Talk about wearing your geek cred on your sleeve. Honestly, you could probably pass it off as just a normal outfit, although a little colorful and well high cute. I like how you adapted her out of that anime to the outfit is totally what she'd wear. I know, right? That's what I was thinking. Well, that and I can't just go around in my bare fur. You totally can. If there was a place for it, this would be it. Did you know they have a pool upstairs? She blushed deeply and hid her snout behind her soda. That's cute. I'm totally not going nude around a pool just to show off the markings. Anyway, the purple dye goes all green and weird. What? Oh no, I meant like a swimsuit or something. Though again, if there was a place for clothing optional showing off, I guess it was Amorous pool. Damn, now that's an image I'd be happy to take out of here. Oh, yeah, right? Duh, I knew that. And in the interest of returning the compliment, you look great in that outfit too, by the way. I don't know if I'd have the nerve to try and pull off a cosplay that complicated with the dye, so kudos. Her smile lit up the club. It was a little hard to tell if she was complimenting the TV show character or her outfit that had done it. I guess they were similar, but the subtle flirtation went over her head a little. How come you're wearing your costume to a club, though? I don't think you'd find someone else in here that's doing the same thing. I know. It was a surprise party. My actual birthday was last week, and I was experimenting with the fur dye to get the patterns right. My mom pretty much opened my door and told me, your friends are in the driveway waiting